Welcome back, Jebel Ali. Now, in this tutorial, probably the final tutorial, we are going to create a sprite that displays when you are the winner, when you finished your race. You can decide how long you race for, but this sprite will be displayed when we finish. Now, what I've got here, I've created a kind of a checkered flag. Okay, now I'm giving it a name, so down in sprites, and I'm calling it finish. Or you can call it winner, but I'm going to call mine finish. Now all I did here, you can create whatever sprite you want for this, but all I did here was using vector shapes, squares, I created black and white checks to make like a checkered flag. But again, it's entirely up to you how you design your finished flag. But I will add some text. I haven't shown you how to add text, and this is how you do it. So you click on the T here. Then choose your color. I'm going for a red so it stands out. And you can choose from this section here your font, and then just click anywhere and you can type in the text you want to add. You can delete and add text again. Now, when you click away, you'll see that you can, using the select tool, you can move your text. You can use the handles in the corner to make it bigger or smaller, and on the side you can stretch your text. Entirely up to you. I'm going to make it nice and big. So there is my winner sprite. Okay, and that will be displayed when I've completed, I don't know, it's entirely up to you, maybe 2 laps, 3 laps, or maybe just 1 lap. It's entirely up to you. So there you go. So there is my finish sprite. Now, the way you do this, so you can display this obviously when you've completed the laps. So on my code section for my finished sprite, I'm going to say when I've completed 2 laps, I want this to be displayed. Okay, so the way you do that, so again, like before, we need an event block. So we need it to be starting from the green flag, like we've been doing over and over again. So we need to make sure it's checking when we get up to the right amount of laps to display it. But obviously the first thing we need to do is make sure this sprite is hidden, because we don't want the winner sprite to be displayed at the beginning. So we go to looks and we're going to hide the sprite. Okay, so where's my hide? There it is. So as soon as my green flag is clicked, you'll see off it goes. It's disappeared. Okay, don't worry, it's still there, but when we use the show block, it will be displayed. So I'm going to say when I have completed 2 laps, it will be displayed. So we're going to forever check again. So it's that forever loop. So this is kind of the eyes of the computer programming. It's forever looking and checking if something's happened. So forever check if. So there's my if block, and that goes inside my forever loop. Now, what we're looking at is the amount of laps. So we want to check if it gets to the number 2. So if it equals 2. Now, I don't know if you remember, a little while back we talked about mathematical operations in programming, and we're going to use what are called the operator blocks again. That's the green blocks down here. So let me zoom in on that. So we're down here on the operator blocks. Okay, so inside there, do you remember before we used the OR block when we were checking if we touched the animals crossing the road? Now I'm going to use a mathematical symbol, the equals sign. Okay, so we're checking if something equals, in this case it says 50, but I want it to say 2. So I'm going to type in there, instead of 50, put the number 2, and we're checking if laps are equal to 2. So if I've gone round there twice, this should say 2, and if this is saying 2, it should display the finished sprite. So we need the variable laps. Now, you can't type in here laps. That's not the way you do it. So just be careful here. You need to go to the variables and actually choose the variable you created. But this time we are using these kind of lozenge shaped variable. So you can see it fits perfectly into there. So I drag laps and place it in the first section here. Then I move my equals operator in between the if and the then of my if statement. So now we're checking forever if laps equals 2. If laps equals 2, then we want to display the Finish Sprite. So make sure, well, you must be on your Finish Sprite, and then, can you remember where we get the show block from? Yep, if you said looks, you were correct. So opposite to hide, we're going to use the show. And at this point, we want the whole game to finish. So we don't want any of the code running, we just want the final sprite displayed. So we're going to stop all the other code running. That's including any animals crossing the road or the car moving. So we go to Control, and then we're going to stop everything. Stop all. And that goes inside the mouth of the if and after the show. Must be after the show. If it didn't, it wouldn't work. Okay, so one other thing. We need to make sure our finish is... No, that's absolutely fine. Let's try that. Now, basically, I've got to go round twice. It's going to take me a little bit of time because this game is quite difficult. But I'm going to show you, hopefully, when I get round, and we'll test it. See if it displays the finish zone. So off I go. I'm going to start now, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Live and direct, and I've hit the winner line, and my laps is equals to 2, and therefore it automatically displays my Finish Sprite. So basically it's worked. So it's forever checked continually over and over again. All the time I'm going round my track, and my laps are incrementing. As soon as my laps get to 2, it shows my Finish Sprite and stops all the other code, and my game ends. One thing I could do, I could move my passengers down here. I didn't score any passengers this time, wasn't very good. I could move that down there out of the way of my winner sprite. But that's it, and that's how you end your game when you completed all of your laps. Again, you can choose how many laps you need to complete just by changing this value here. If I wanted to make my game longer, I could have waited to check for more laps if I wanted to. And that's it. Well done. Keep up the fantastic work. I look forward to seeing the results of your hard work on your racing game. Take care and see you soon.